How was it? How was it working in like nursing home and in the hospital? So what's the difference?
Wait lang, wala pa tayo dyan sa nursing
Wala
part.
ba yan?
First question is, what brought you to Ireland?
Generally working in Ireland is kind of like yeah. May gusto ka kayo dagdag, nakalimutan ko na kasi nitigan niyo ako talaga. It's so hard. Like, I mean,
Okay,
iniisip ko kasi.
Muna yan! Ang hirap ng tanong!
I had to leave Ireland after 4 years of working here. Welcome back to That Filipino Nurse channel. My name is Boyd Ventura, and today we're going to be spending time with a good friends of mine, Mr. RV Manalo and Mr. Rexy Serra, and we're going to talk about RV's experience in Ireland and his application process going to the USA very soon. So,
Been here for almost 4 years now. I arrived around this month as well, around this date, 2018. So I worked for 2 years in a nursing home, and then I transferred to an acute hospital, which is a University Hospital Limerick, where I worked in high dependency unit for almost 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
What brought you to Ireland?
There's a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, who went here a year before me, and he encouraged me to apply here. So I did, and luckily I passed it.
For the first 4 years that you've been here in Ireland, if there's one valuable lesson, like the most valuable lesson that Ireland taught you so far, what is it and why?
It's so hard. Like, I mean,
Okay, it's like a Miss Universe question. Okay? But
for me, kasi wala ko may
just in general.
Maybe being independent. Because when I came here, it's just me and my batchmates.
Yes.
And living abroad is very difficult. So
Is this your first abroad?
It is. It is my first. So you really need to learn on how to be independent.
Yeah.
That's not an
It is not
task,
easy
yeah.
though.
Do you find Ireland a good place to live in?
Oh yeah, of course. It is for me, it's a very good place to start a family. Because first, this country is very peaceful. The crime rate is low. Almost no calamities going on in here, unlike into our country. Most of the people here, if not all, are very nice and very warm.
Yeah.
They're very accommodating.
Yes.
Okay, if there are 3 places in Ireland that you really, really love, what are those places that you can like advise or recommend people to come and see if they visit here?
So the first place would be Limerick. Go Limerick!
Limerick.
Second place that I really love.
Question about Limerick though.
Well, I lived there for 4 years. This is the only place I know in Ireland. So, go Limerick! For the second place, I choose Ring of Kerry, Dingle.
I haven't been there.
I love that place. The Dogs Beach in Galway.
Galway, okay.
Yeah. I would say like I would just consider one city, Galway. It's really quiet. It's very classic. I would say in pictures, like people, shops.
Galway is very touristy though. It's very touristy. There's a lot of music, like buskers, and a lot of shops, and that's very nice as well. And the food, the seafood is really good.
Oh, it's nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Well, Ireland is very nice.
Sorry.
4 years here, I never felt discriminated at all. Never.
Yeah.
That's one important thing that we're looking for in a place where we live and working. So to RV, let's talk about your nursing experience here in Ireland, okay? So, okay, so first of all, I'm just curious, and maybe the viewers are curious as well, on the English.
Ano gusto mo ano sabihin?
Why did you opt to work in the nursing home when you came here?
Well, the initial offer to me was to be working in an acute hospital. But then the last minute there were some changes where I couldn't say no anymore because I already resigned from my previous work.
So your nursing experience in the Philippines?
I was a cardiothoracic ICU nurse in the Philippine Heart Center. Yes. And then when I went here, I worked for the first 2 years in a nursing home. So that's a big transition.
Yes,
It is. Okay.
Coming from a cardiothoracic ICU, is it? To staff in the nursing home, what's the major what you call challenge that you encountered?
Two different things. Like we're in a critical care setting and this is a long-term facility. Working in a long-term facility, it's more of like a routine where you help all of the residents with their daily activities of daily living.
Yes.
While when you're working into a critical care setting, your goal is to keep the patient person alive.
Did you like the work in the nursing home as well?
Oh yeah, there's no regrets. The people are very nice. I fell in love with the residents as well. They're really nice. It's just that I really needed to go back to acute because I have plans.
Why did you decide to transfer now from nursing home, being in the nursing home, going back to the acute facility again?
I have plans of moving to the US, and I needed to have acute setting experience for me too.
So,
Cut.
cut.
I don't.
Very brief description. What are your job description in the nursing home? Like very brief, and then in high dependency, what do you do usually every day, like in your routine?
So in a nursing home, we usually start our day with a handover, and then we'll start with helping our residents with their meals. We'll give them their morning medications, and then we'll give them a wash, sit them out into the sitting room, and then do their activities of daily living. Basically, we're helping them out throughout their activities throughout the day.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
In the nursing home, like how many residents do you look after in a shift?
Usually 8 residents, 1 nurse, and 1 multitask attendant. We have like 24 residents in our unit before.
Okay.
It's divided into 3 groups.
So I work in the ICU, he works in the neonatal, and our routine will be somewhat the same but different specifically. So in high dependency unit, what do you usually like?
Well, we usually get also critically ill patients.
What's the patient nurse ratio?
It's 2 patients to 1 nurse. Basically what we're doing there is the same as what we're doing in the ICU. We get critically ill patients. It's just that the acuity of care is lower than your patients in the ICU.
What about you in the neonatal?
Well, for the ICU, if you're having like critically ill patient, you need to one midwife or nurse, and then for the HD or high dependency, it's gonna be 5 to 6 sometimes because of the research. Yeah, neonates.
Okay.
And then for the special care, you'll have
1:1.
not really 1:1, 1:7, 1:6.
ICU?
No,
Special care. Okay, so we're talking about our specific area of. Did you encounter any challenging situation in your clinical practice in your 2 years and 2 years in both?
It's really challenging when you're short of staff, which is most of the time. With our situation nowadays, with the surge of COVID, if you get 2 COVID patients, just the gowning itself is really painful. It's tiring, and you have to prone the patient. That's one of the management for COVID. That's really hard to do.
Why are you leaving for years? What made you decide to leave Ireland after 4 years of working here?
Because my family is in the States.
Oh, that's why.
I love it here.
Yes, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love our, but then again, my family is in the US, and it's always been a dream of ours to be together in there.
or you're in the Philippines, a lot of them will be asking, is it better to go to the US, or it's better to work in the UK, or in Ireland, or in New Zealand, or Australia? So I've only known Saudi and here in Ireland. So like for you, your reason is family.
Yeah, that's the first reason, family. Second reason, compensation.
The environment, the weather.
Weather?
Yes, the weather. In that span of 4 years, were you able to save money to us?
Yes, I'll be bringing a little bit of money with me to the US. So I would say yes, I was able to save.
Is the compensation or the salary here in Ireland is worth it?
Because they're paying you based on your years of experience. So I would say it's better, like if you're gonna compare it to the Philippines. For single, I would say like you'll be paying taxes more, but you're still getting a lot. How about you?
Well, no, the salary here is competitive as well. As a nurse, you're getting a high salary, but you're also paying high tax, and you're also paying high cost of living. That's the benefit, because you're living in a peaceful country and you're getting a better quality of living compared to when I was in Saudi. And I think it depends upon your lifestyle as well.
I would say so.
You live a frugal life, or
Frugal.
if you live
I'm kind of like 50.
no, right? I don't really buy expensive stuff, something like that.
If they love spending money, if they love spending on the material, I think that's fine because that's what makes them happy.
Do you have any regrets that you came to Ireland first?
No regrets now. I love my 4 years of staying here.
Because you've grown a lot, I would say. You've learned a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Living in different country, you tend to be more independent.
Yes.
You tend to embrace what life has to offer you.
You were able to travel to different places.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
In Europe, it's very accessible.
Iceland. Hi Rona, hi Rory. That's one of my favorite. Netherlands,
Yeah.
especially Amsterdam.
Is it expensive really?
Depends on how you.
Yeah.
Like for us Filipinos, we still need a visa, and we're
Yeah.
just one Schengen visa. You can jump into one European country to another. I'd say Greece. Greece is very
Greece.
beautiful.
Lovely. Yeah.
Have you been to Greece?
You haven't.
I haven't been.
But
Restarts my life. Like it gives me
you discover new things.
the culture, the people, and then you're able to relax.
Yeah, I think that's very important, just to relax and renew yourself. As a nurse, we give a lot of ourselves to our patients and the service.
I'd say Ireland has one of the longest
Yeah.
annual leaves. Plus the public holidays,
Yeah.
bank holidays.
But it depends upon how long you've been qualified. So your annual leave can be longer or shorter, depending. Do you find the 12-hour shift, where sometimes it's 13 hours, but the official is 12? Okay. Do you find it very exhausting and draining as compared to like your previous jobs in the Philippines?
Well, I would say it depends on the days and it depends on the patient that you're handling. Because I'm in the neonatal unit. Depends on how critically ill your patient is.
Sometimes
Tama
it's
na nga.
exhausting, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Depends on the days, really.
I prefer doing the 12-hour shift because more time off. You'll be doing just 3 12 hours and then you'll have 4 days off. So I prefer that way. But as he said, it depends on your patient. It depends on the days. There are some days where you're really wrecked.
Yeah.
You go home, and there are some days where you're hayahay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, in the Philippines, generally it's busy. Sometimes you work longer time and paid.
Okay.
So yeah, but I love working in the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
All of us we've been there and we've done that. Okay, let's talk about money.
I think half of my salary goes to all of my expenses, like the house
It
rent.
depends on the city that you're living in. For example, in Limerick, it's not too costly to live here, especially the rent. If you're gonna compare it to Dublin, I would say that I'm spending a lot. Take 900, yeah.
What are the things that you're gonna miss about Ireland or Limerick?
I miss the people, peacefulness of the country, the calmness, and I miss my friends who turned into family.
Oh,
I'm not going to miss the weather.
But you know what? Ireland is really beautiful when it's sunny, when it's all summer and there's a bit of warmth. It's one of the beautiful places that I've been in. I've never been to a lot. Some of my friends already went to US, and some of your friends as well already went to US from Ireland. And maybe people are like wondering how to
Or
do that,
why.
or why as well. How did you start your application?
I started by choosing which state I want to get licensed. I started my process 2019, I think. Mid of
Okay.
2019. And then I chose New York. And
Why did you choose New York first of all?
some said, most of the people that I know said that it's easier to get the license in New York because of lesser requirements.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's true. So started the process by going to their website, filling out forms, and then the usual, the PRC, your college documents.
Forms.
Yeah. And then you'll receive your authority to test, and then you register for your NCLEX.
How long did it take for you to finish?
So
End of like a year?
It's yeah,
Like,
some delays as well because of
It could have been shorter.
How did you review for NCLEX?
I bought this app. That's what I used for my daily review. I try to answer at least 70 questions every day before doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like after my shift, after work, I go home. Before watching a movie or anything, I
Yeah.
make sure that I answer at least 70 questions every day, like a month before my exam. I also listen to this Mark K audios over and over and over again. It's all about dedication, discipline, and also don't forget
Hard
to
work.
pray.
Anyway.
For me, it's the hardest test I ever did.
Really? But you're one of the smartest
People
I
that you
know.
Char. Charot ka. I'm just lucky.
The moment I've known him back in the Philippines, no? Like he passed the interview while he was drunk. And NCLEX, you passed the NCLEX when?
September 2020. NCLEX. I took my NCLEX in London.
Can you not take NCLEX here in Ireland?
London is the only testing center available here in Europe.
Oh, okay. How much is the exam fee?
200 euros.
Okay. After passing the NCLEX exam, what did you do?
So after passing the exam, I chose an employer who will petition me a green card, the immigrant visa. And then I signed the contract. That was November of 2020. I signed the contract, and then they started the process. It took a year for the entire process. December of 2020, I took the IELTS. It's part of the requirement for the visa screen. And then I passed all the documents required.
How much band score do you
I
need?
think only 6.5, but you need to have 7 for speaking. 7 for speaking and 6.5 overall. That's it.
Okay, IELTS in the Philippines and IELTS in Ireland, which is easier?
Here in Ireland.
They have the same level of
Here,
Yeah.
level of
Same criteria maybe.
yeah.
But the discretion maybe is different.
the examiners.
So it took like...
Julit.
Kailangan ba ba?
Oh, pangatlo na.
Anyway, after the visa approval, what's next?
Just get away.
Fly. Fly today.
Are you gonna pay for your expenses like your airfare?
My airfare will be reimbursed by my employer. By the agency.
Oh, yeah.
I've been through a lot. For us to fulfill our dream to be together in the US.
As your friend, we're very happy for you that
Thank
you're
you.
finally fulfilling your American dream. I want to thank you for again and sharing your experience in this vlog for all the Filipino nurses who's watching That Filipino Nurse YouTube channel, and for all the non-Filipino nurses who's also watching. Thank you very much for being here. And I don't want to cry.
It's my pleasure.
I don't want to cry, but we're gonna miss you. And
No,
we
thank you
wish-
for sharing your life. Like
Your
a
life,
short
yeah.
span of like time that
I'm hoping that we'll be doing another vlog soon in the US.
Maybe we're gonna visit RV
That's
there
pretty
and
sure.
let's follow up his life once he's there. What are the advice, like being the kuyas of the new generation nurses? What will be the advice that you can give the nurses who's starting to look for job opportunities abroad?
I'd say never give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
Pursue what your dream is, and don't stop until you reach it. And don't forget to pray. That's the most important one.
100% agree with him. I would say that have a goal, be dedicated on what you need to do. It takes a lot of like hard work. It takes a lot of like mistakes, failures, and just do it over and over.
For me, it doesn't matter where you come from, really, right? As long as you put your heart into your endeavors, I think you will reach whatever that is that you're focused on. Yeah, thanks again for watching this vlog and this channel. Thank you for supporting me and all of my friends who I interview over and over again. But yeah, I hope that you find a little bit of tips and tricks and advices, good advices from us
I hope
as
so.
nurses and as people who are experiencing life in abroad. And I hope that in the future we'll share more stories with you and to the world.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button if you wanted to have an update every time. So, bye guys!
I'll be having my own YouTube channel soon.
Oh yeah!
Don't forget. So please don't forget to support his YouTube channel that he's gonna be launching very, very soon. Which is, I think, what is it about again?
Well, it's more about, I'll be talking about my life, my travels, my daily.
Oh, it's your journey.
Yeah,
Journey.
you know, we're excited to see what you're gonna, offer.
So thanks, Boyet, and thanks, Arby, for.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Hope to see you all soon, very soon. Bye. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Ano sasabihin ko?
Relax!
Relax.
Relax!
Wait lang, relax.
Hi guys! Charot!